So we're here today at Warrington Gallery and we're here to interview Curtis Jobling. Now Curtis is the man behind the design of Bob the Builder and Frankenstein's cat. Now we're here today to ask Curtis about his early days and obviously his career and to see what just tips and advice he can give to some of you young people today. So Curtis, thanks for joining us today. So just talk to us, you're a very successful author and illustrator, aren't you?
Oh, thank you very much.
Talk to us about your early days and obviously before Bob the Builder.
I was a straight A student at college, all the way through school to be honest. I was looking to go and do more academic roles when I left college. Unfortunately, I got a bit distracted by the time I hit my A-levels, ended up resitting one of my years there, and I fell back upon the only thing that I really knew how to do, which was illustration. It was art, it was doodling, crayoning. Went away and studied illustration at art college, and off the back of that I started writing to people to try and get work in the industry. My first job was work on Wallace and Gromit's A Close Shave. So fresh out of art college I was working on what went on to be an Oscar-winning movie, and from there other work kind of kicked on. But there's always been a desire and a hunger for me to have to chase those jobs and roles within the film, broadcasting and animation industries.
So we're standing here now in front of the BikeNet Beatniks. Now, just talk to us a little bit about that.
The BikeNet Beatniks, this was an art show project that I was developing, also an animation project, but basically it was about a gang of, I've got to take a breath now, freaky deaky, kooky spooky, cool cat, hep cat, vampire kids who play in a band fighting evil by the power of jazz. It's preschool. It's not preschool at all. It's my love of pop art and music and cartoons all crashing together headlong into one another. So it's, this is another one of those kinds of things. In order to get a break in life, it wasn't enough for me just to work in animation. I needed to get some gallery shows off the ground, and what better excuse than to do something that had one foot in the animation camp as well. So these paintings have been exhibited in the UK and overseas as well.
Brilliant. So you also have published a lot of children's books as well, haven't you? So just talk to us about what's your favourite book? My favourite book, well, I'd probably be a bit biased. My picture books, I would say it'd be Frankenstein's Cat, which we turned into a TV show as well. But of the other books, I've been writing novels for the last couple of years. I've hardly picked up a crayon in anger. So my Werewolf novels, which are young adult fantasy horror novels, which have been doing really well. I've just finished writing the fourth one. And Penguin, my publisher, have just commissioned me to write a fifth and sixth book in the series as well. So that's really kind of taken over for me. Yeah, brilliant. You also do workshops as well, don't you, for museums and schools, colleges. Just talk to us a little bit about that.
The workshops I do, well, for me, I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but giving something back. When I was a kid, there weren't people who were from creative industries who came into schools. I'm a Warrington lad, I grew up in this town. If somebody came to visit our school, it was either the police, if you're in trouble, the fireman maybe showing you about how to ride an engine, or it was somebody from the local power plant fitting you for a hard hat. It wasn't somebody from a creative industry. So for me, I've always been quite passionate about getting into schools and talking about being creative as a living, as a career. At the very least, writing, music, art, all those different things I'm passionate about. At the very least, they can be a worthwhile hobby throughout your life. At the very most, you can actually make a good living out of it as well.
So for young people of today that's obviously got a flair for art, or even writing, what tips and advice would you give them?
Perseverance, I think. It's like anything. If you want to get good at playing a musical instrument, you need to practice. So you can never be too soon to start writing down, jotting down ideas for short stories. If you want to get better at writing, then read more. That's another big tip. And the art, keep your sketchbooks going, keep doodling, keep generating ideas. You can't just sit back. I've never been able to sit back in my career and expect people to come looking for me. I always have to go and search for the work. And I've been very fortunate that I've had some really cool jobs, designing Bob the Builder, creating Ra Ra the Noisy Lion, which is on CBeebies at the moment. These are all big successes for me, but I've been in the right place at the right time, admittedly, but the trick is to put yourself in the right place at the right time. It's all about diligence and persevering and just having that dedication. It's a hunger and desire, which I've kind of been born with. And it's been distilled in me from a very young age. And I think if other people can kind of get into that habit sooner rather than later, then it'll stand them in good stead for later on in life as well.
So finally, just any inspirational advice that you would give to the young people of today?
Inspirational advice. It's never been easier, I think, to sort of reach out to your heroes. When I was a kid, again, I had my favourite authors, but you didn't get the chance to speak to any of them or interact with them. These days, you can go to book signings, talks at schools, visits from authors to various different sort of conventions and festivals. You can reach the people who you're a fan of. Don't be shy. Go forward. Ask them your advice. Ask them how they got into the industry. The same with artists as well. There's different avenues such as social media networks. networks such as Facebook and Twitter, there's ways of reaching these people and asking their advice and just basically letting them know how much of a fan you are of their work, and who knows, they might write back to you as well.